In my experience, my philosophy, women are not going to fix this thing. If a woman doesn't feel loved and cared for, she's not going to open up. It's like a flower, that's being properly cared for. If it's going to only blossom when it's being given the right conditions, and if the conditions aren't met, then you can't jump up and down and shout, "Hey, why didn't it bloom?" Well, it didn't bloom because you didn't give it the right love, tender love and care. One of the topics that I talk about frequently is the notion of men and women kind of getting into like a sexless marriage, like a state of where the intimacy is just like dried up. And so I often talk about it's like an engine that's stalled out, and so we need somebody to kind of jumpstart. Like what is the pistons have stopped rotating, and now we need somebody. It's like a chicken and the egg, right? So women feel like if a woman feels loved and cared for, that makes her open to intimacy, and if a man has intimacy, then that makes him feel loved. And so we kind of have these like opposing forces that can sometimes, when the engine stalls out, it prevents us from moving forward, because the woman might say like, well, hey, this guy's not helping me around the house. He basically, the weight of the world is on my shoulders, and I don't have a partner that's actually helping me. He doesn't care that I'm stressed out all the time. He just wants to pull away and do his own thing. And then from the man side of it, he might feel like, hey, I'm just not getting any sort of, I'm not feeling loved or desired or wanted from this woman, because the intimacy's dried up. So why would I reward that by treating her better, right? And so it's important in these things not to choose sides. It's very easy to be biased, right? It's very easy for men to kind of side with men, and for women to side with women, because we see the situation so clearly from our own standpoint. At the end of the day, that's not what we want. We want the relationship to move forward and for this to be healed, right? And from that perspective, I feel that women lead in the relationships in a lot of different ways. Women are very hardworking around the house, in regard to driving the care of children, and a lot of times, often, the care of the household in general. Women are, in talking with women, a lot of women will report, I feel like I'm in charge of everything, and so women lead in that women are extremely hardworking and can exhaust themselves, and they are natural. I feel very hardworking people and natural leaders in many respects. And this can be intimidating to men, and men don't really know their place of where they can lead, right? Because now it's like, well, women are doing so much in addition to working, and then a lot of times men are working and then also just trying to like help, do their best to, support their wives and help, but you got this really, driving force, right? So the area in which men have to lead, in my opinion, this is an area where women are not going to lead you out of the situation, is when the intimacy and the sex dries up. It's my view that it's almost impossible for a woman to break that cycle and get out of that situation, because effectively what it is the man feel like again, women are not open to intimacy through intimidation or obligation. If you say, hey, we're in a marriage and I'm a man, I need to get my needs met, so you're obligated to sleep with me, no woman is going to be receptive to that. It's effectively, you've now like slammed the vault door and like spun the dial. The vault is locked. A woman she might pay lip service to it, and she might even attempt to try having more intimacy with you out of obligation or out of being pressured based on your needs, but it's not going to ring true, and it's not going to be sustainable, and she's most likely she'll mask or build resentment. It's not going to get the motor going. So and sometimes, I'll just be honest, like sometimes the motor's never going to get going again. You might be in a dead marriage, and that's just what it is. Like at a certain point in certain relationships, people they don't see it happening. They just don't see the future. And so they're never able to kind of get the thing moving again, the train going. But if there's any chance of it getting moving again, I want to put this on men. I think that it's important for men to lead in this specific part of the relationship. It's vital that a man does that. So the way that a man can lead in that respect is if he is treating the woman with love and respect and kindness. A woman needs to have these elements, and he also needs to treat her as if he loves her, not as if, but truly that he loves her specifically for who she is, that she sees that he loves her for, the things that make her special, or her ideas, her passions in life. All of these things need to be backed up by the man. If the man is criticizing her and telling her, I don't like the way that you cook, or I think that your opinions or your passions or hobbies are all stupid. Just, subtly just not really respecting and appreciating her and treating her with love and respect, then she's never going to open herself up. And in addition to that, like I said, women are very hardworking people, and typically can get to the point where they feel like the weight of the world's on their shoulders. So men, I don't feel like have that same level of drive to kind of push it to that extent. Men are extremely hardworking people as well, but particularly, I don't necessarily feel that men in relation to taking care of the kids and taking care of the home get to that level of, oh my God, I feel like the weight of the world's on my shoulders. I just can't do it all, and I am, I'm stressed. Men, of course, have a significant amount of stress, but in the areas that I'm talking about, I don't think it's necessarily as much as common. I'll say that. And I want to be very respectful on this channel of men and women. I think that's the whole point. Trying to get men and women to understand each other, not shit talk men, not shit talk women, but just try to make it so we can figure each other out. On the whole, I think that women are very hardworking, and I think that they can come to exhaust themselves. So in that capacity, they want a lot of the intimacy that happens in the bedroom is it's like a cause and effect of what happens outside of the bedroom. So if the woman is not supported and loved outside of the bedroom, then the bedroom game is going to go cold, and you can kind of expect what you're going to get. So that way, again, you want to show her love and respect, and you want to show her individually that you love her specifically, not just an idealization of a wife. I talk about that frequently, but it's also the support. It's are you recognizing that she is overwhelmed, and are you doing something about it? Are you being proactive and saying, hey, I want to take some tasks off your plate. I really care about you. You seem overwhelmed, and I want to make sure that you feel like I'm on a team, I'm a partner, and I love and care about you. And if she hears that, and if you're proactively leading and you're driving this, then all of a sudden she softens up and she realizes, oh, I do have a partner, and I do, this guy does care about me. The other thing is too, which I talk about frequently, is the man needs to be driving the romance department. So it's all about are you complimenting your wife? Are you taking her out on dates? Are you planning women love to be whisked away to resort every once and again, right? Like, so there's a weekend coming up, and you say, hey, clear the schedule, because I planned something for us. We're going to go away, and I planned for childcare or whatever. Women absolutely love it when men take initiative in that way. So I'll say again, these are all things. I'm trying to give you practical advice in order to kind of restart the engine, restart the intimacy engine. And a lot of people it's very difficult. Again, I just want to be empathetic towards men in this situation, because you just feel like it's just done. It's not. The engine has stalled, and you don't have faith that it's going to be. It's going to start again. But let me just focus on that right there, that piece. If you don't have faith that it's going to, you effectively don't have faith in your wife. If you don't have faith in your wife, imagine being at work and your boss doesn't have faith in you, right? And how depressing is that going to be? And are you going to be motivated, or are you going to basically feel, just completely lacking in motivation? You're just going to feel like, well, they don't believe I can do it anyway. So in order to get the best out of your partner, you have to believe in them, and you have to have faith in them. So if you've kind of lost faith in your marriage, and you feel like this woman, she's closed up shop, and she's never wants sex, and I always have to beg her for it, and I'm tired, I'm done. Well, maybe that's where you're at. Maybe it says a lot, right? About, the future of your relationship. In order to fix this, you genuinely have to have faith in your wife, and you have to believe that it can be fixed, or else it won't. I think it is really hard, and it's very difficult to, it is very hard to see it for a lot of men. A lot of men feel like I don't see it. I'm having a hard time drumming up the faith, because it's been 5 years since the intimacy's dried up, so I don't see it. So it's a very difficult thing. So for me, it's either you either have to resolve yourself to be proactive and try to have faith in your wife and try to fix this thing, or not. But the message I really want to hammer home, and I'll conclude on, is just the notion that, in my experience and my philosophy, women are not going to fix this thing. If a woman doesn't feel loved and cared for, she's not going to open up. Like it's like a flower, that's being properly cared for. If it's going to only blossom when it's being given the right conditions, and if the conditions aren't met, then you can't jump up and down and shout, "Hey, why didn't it bloom?" Well, it didn't bloom because you didn't give it the right love, tender love and care. And so that's my main point. I don't think men are, I'm sympathetic for men out there that are not getting the love and they're not feeling the intimacy. It's a core part of life, and the idea of feeling wanted and desired is a core part of what a marriage should be. And so my heart goes out to you if you're in that situation. But again, I just don't think that women can kind of force it. I think this is where the man needs to step up and take action. And I want to empower men. You have it within you. You have everything you need within you to kind of solve this. You just need to, resolve yourself to putting in the work and getting it done. So I want to having a very empowering message towards the men out there. So anyways, thanks for listening. I'll talk to you later. If you have like this, please give a like and subscribe, and comment down below. Bye.